All right, so let's jump right in. We're going deep today into Kenyan politics.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, always a lively topic. But specifically, what we're looking at today is this proposed bill to limit political terms to just 7 years. And
Yeah, that's a big change.
it is, and it's causing quite a stir.
Yeah.
Thousands are saying no to this thing. And so our source material for this deep dive is this news brief from The Star,
All right.
which is a Kenyan news outlet. And this was published on October 25th, 2024.
Gotcha. So fresh news.
Yeah, pretty fresh. And, the thing that I found really interesting right off the bat is that this news brief is categorized under health
Oh,
as well as siasa, which is Swahili for politics.
Politics. So not your typical pairing.
No, not at all. I mean, what do you make that? I mean,
Well, it really makes you think, doesn't it? It's like they're almost suggesting a link between how long a politician is in office and the overall, health of the nation.
yeah. It's like, are they implying that there's a direct correlation?
Right, exactly. Could longer terms in office, maybe, with less accountability over time, lead to a decline in certain aspects of public health, like healthcare? Or could it be the opposite?
Oh, I see, yeah.
Could these shorter terms with constant change disrupt those long-term health initiatives? The ones that really need time to take root and flourish.
Right, because you've got new people coming in, maybe changing priorities.
Exactly, yeah. It's a really fascinating angle to consider, isn't it?
Yeah, and then you look at the title of this news brief, and it says, "Thousands say no to 7-year term limit bill."
Okay, so it's not just a small group.
No, this is not just like a couple of people grumbling. This is a significant portion of the population that's pushing back against this idea.
That's a really strong statement, yeah.
Yeah. So what does that tell us about the potential implications? I mean, what are your thoughts on what's driving this massive opposition?
Well, I think it really raises some key questions.
Yeah.
Is this a sign of a broader dissatisfaction, maybe even a simmering frustration with the current political system? Or are there very specific concerns about this particular bill and how it might, reshape Kenya's political landscape?
Yeah.
It's crucial to dig deeper and understand the motivations behind this resistance.
Absolutely. And I think it's also worth noting, just taking a step back and looking at the Star.
Yeah.
It's clear from browsing their website that they cover this really diverse range of topics. I mean, you've got world, Africa, corridors of power, which sounds pretty intense.
Yeah.
Infographics, big read, fact checker, star farmer, real time, breakfast briefing. I mean,
Wow, that's a lot.
it makes you wonder about the context of this story, right?
Absolutely.
What other headlines are vying for attention alongside this one? Is this front page news?
Yeah.
Is it buried somewhere?
Yeah.
What does that say about the perceived importance of this issue, especially to the Kenyan public?
That's a great point. It's all about perspective, right? How prominently is this being featured?
Yeah, exactly. So to wrap this up, we've seen thousands speaking out against this bill already.
Yeah.
What kind of impact do we think this public pressure will have moving forward?
Well, it's really tough to say for sure,
Yeah.
but it's definitely something to keep a close eye on. Will this force revisions to the bill?
Right.
Could it spark a much wider, more in-depth public debate about term limits in general? And, taking it even further, could this actually influence the future direction of Kenyan politics?
Yeah. I mean, it's a really complex situation with a lot of moving parts. You've got political maneuvering going on, public engagement, and then the potential long-term consequences for Kenya, all kind of intertwined.
Exactly. It's a developing story with a lot of potential ramifications, and we'll just have to see how it all unfolds.
Exactly. All right. Well, that's our deep dive for today.
Fascinating stuff.
Yeah, thanks for joining me.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Sounds good.